So guys, with any big Marvel, DC, Star Wars type of movie, whenever a trailer comes out, people go through it with a fine-tooth comb, they break it down frame by frame, they search for any kind of news, information, details, Easter eggs, cameos, any kind of information that they can drag out of a trailer, and this exact same thing has happened here with the brand new Superman trailer. Someone has gone through, found a kind of a picture of a newspaper that some of the characters are holding within the trailer, and they've tried to dissect some of the information that's inside the article of the newspaper that was featured in the trailer, and we've got some exciting potential plot points and potential villain characters that could be appearing in this movie. So this is great information here. We're going to jump into this article, break down all this information, take a look at some of the images of the characters holding the newspaper we'll be talking about that were featured in the trailer. So as we go forward, this could be seen as potential spoilers or plot points for the movie, so you have been warned going forward, guys. So this comes to us from comicbookmovie.com. Superman Daily Planet article reveals another villain, not Gorilla Grodd, and some potentially major plot points. So yeah, there was a big fan theory and speculation going around recently that people were holding a newspaper and it appeared to be Gorilla Grodd, obviously the ape that's known in the DC universe, that was featured on this newspaper. But it turns out it's not Gorilla Grodd now, it's potentially a brand new villain we hadn't considered. And we'll get to that information in just a sec. So what we're going to do, to start off with, we're going to go over to X. We're going to go to DCU Updates post here. So, I wonder what this newspaper says. Find the answers below. Beware of spoilers for Superman. Again, potential plot points here. You've been warned going forward here, guys. So, this is the image in question here. So, we have this newspaper that's pretty prevalent throughout the Superman trailer. A lot of different characters are holding this newspaper and reading it. Obviously, we have Lois Lane here, played by Rachel Brosnahan. And as we go forward, again, we've got Jimmy Olsen here holding the same newspaper. And let's go to the next image. And again, we've got this police officer holding the newspaper here, Daily Planet newspaper. And a lot of people thought, as you can see, this very blurry image here on the newspaper, it looks like the silhouette of Gorilla Grodd. And I can completely understand the massive kind of arms, the shoulders, the big bulbous head. You would think that that was Gorilla Grodd, of course. It looks like it from this image. If you had to guess, that's exactly what you would say. But apparently that's not the case. We'll get to the information in just a minute. So going down, we also have this. So here is a high-res version of the paper. Below is the article written by Clark Kent, of course. So this is a really good high-resolution version of that newspaper that those characters were holding. So, Metropolis, I think that says Monday, May the 19th. I think it's a bit blurry, so I apologize if that's wrong, but I think that's what it says. And then the title of the newspaper here, Hammer of Baravia. Hammer of Baravia creates havoc downtown. Superpowered mysterious man damages Metropolis. And on the left here, we have this kind of big-looking, bulky type of villain here. I don't really know. He kind of looks like Juggernaut from the X-Men. Kind of like this big, massive, kind of rocky iron kind of clad armor set here. It's very hard to make out. Obviously, it's very blurry still, even though it's more of a high-res image. But it's definitely not Gorilla Grodd. So, this is kind of the newspaper in question. Again, Hammer of Baravia. I think that's how you say it, Baravia. Creates havoc downtown. Super-powered mysterious man damages Metropolis. And then we get this picture here of this kind of mysterious villain looking like the Juggernaut character from X-Men. Very bulky, very kind of dressed in massive armor. So let's go back over to the article where they have a breakdown of the information. Someone's gone through with a fine-tooth comb, broke down the information that's come out of this newspaper somehow. I don't know how they've read this because it's blurry as hell, but someone's managed to dissect this somehow. So let's go back over to the article and break down this newspaper and see what it had to say. So, as with any trailer, our first look at Superman earlier this week generated plenty of discussion and excitement among fans. Examining every frame to try and learn more about what's to come has become the norm with any highly anticipated superhero movie, and Superman offered plenty of intriguing clues. However, the newspaper we thought revealed plans for Gorilla Grodd cameo has now been transcribed, and that's no ape. Instead, the Hammer of Baravia appears to be a different comic book villain altogether. Again, I think that's how you say it, Baravia. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I've never heard it been said, so I don't know how you say it, but I'm going to say Baravia for the purposes of this video. So, this is where we get into the information from the actual newspaper itself. So, Metropolis was targeted by a superpowered mystery man on Sunday, resulting in over $20 million in damage to the city, reads the Clark Kent penned Daily Planet article. DCU Updates managed to take a closer look. Obviously, we've just had a quick look at the close-up of the newspaper itself. The self-titled Hammer of Baravia attacked downtown Metropolis, claiming it was retribution for a recent political intervention in Baravia by Superman. So it appears one of the major plot points is that Superman is going to be entering into a conflict in Baravia. He's going to be getting into that conflict, and as a result, the Hammer of Baravia has decided to attack Metropolis in revenge for Superman taking part in the conflict that happened in Baravia. So we'll have to see how the Hammer of Baravia, how he kind of connects to Baravia itself. Is he like some sort of political figure? Is he a vigilante? Did Lex Luthor employ him to, attack Metropolis? What exactly happened here? We'll have to find out. So, the newspaper goes on to continue saying, this vengeful expedition turned into a terrorist assault on American soil, hospitalizing 22 Metropolis citizens. It continues, Baravia has been the source of numerous headlines worldwide in recent weeks as it invaded its neighboring country, Jarafampura. I have no idea how you say that. Jarafampur? I don't know how to say that, guys. I apologize. I'm going to call it Jarafampur. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Only for the brief war to be swiftly ended by Superman. So it looks like Superman entered Baravia, stopped the war from happening with this neighboring country here, Jarafampur. It looks like someone's not happy that Superman intervened in that war. So the president of Baravia, Vasil Clarkus, maintains the Hammer of Baravia is not a representative of the national government, but rather an independent vigilante. So the president of Baravia, that country that Superman intervened in, has come out and said that the Hammer of Baravia is nothing to do with the government. They didn't sanction the attack on Metropolis. He's an independent vigilante. He has nothing to do with the government. Whether that's true or not, we'll have to wait and see in the movie. So, there are already a couple of popular theories doing the rounds online about who the mystery villain is, including Adversary and Ultra Humanity. Yeah, okay. Those are decent suggestions, but we believe it is likely that Lex Luthor's Ultraman posing as the Hammer of Baravia in an attack orchestrated by the villain to turn people or Metropolis against the Man of Steel. Obviously, we saw in the trailer, there's that scene where Superman's walking through the crowd, someone throws a can at the back of his head, they're really pissed off with Superman about whatever's going on with the political intrigue. But yeah, this could be possible here. So it looks like Lex Luthor's Ultraman, obviously we saw in the trailer as well, Ultraman, he's kind of wearing that black costume with the U on the front of his costume. He could potentially be posing as the Hammer of Baravia in an attack orchestrated by the villain to turn people or Metropolis against the Man of Steel. So it's an inside conspiracy. Ultraman is posing as the Hammer of Baravia, attacking Metropolis to get Metropolis and the civilians to go against Superman. Elsewhere in the article is revealed that the Chocus building was damaged by an ocular laser strike, and that Metropolis citizens are unhappy that taxes are rising to pay for the continued damage superpowered individuals and extraterrestrials unleash on the city. So that's potentially why they're upset with Superman, because Superman, as a superpowered being, he keeps inviting because he's there, kind of people keep trying to take him on or keep trying to target Metropolis because Superman is there, and it's raising the taxes for the civilians because they have to, they have to pay for the damage to the city and the buildings to be repaired, and they're really unhappy with Superman because of this stuff that keeps happening in their city, and that's kind of why they're pissed off, because of the raised taxes. So, there are even comments from Superman addressing his actions, which appear to have caused an international incident. Quote, when addressing the political ramifications of his actions, Superman said, while critics thousands of miles away from this conflict continue to argue if what I did was right or wrong, the bottom line is people's lives were threatened, I had to act. So it sounds like here he was in a catch-22 situation. No matter what he did here, people were going to be pissed off with him. He entered into a war in Barovia that had nothing to do with him, so people are upset about that. But then people's lives were in danger, so he had to act. Ultimately, people's lives being in danger is the ultimate thing you have to save first and foremost. And if people are pissed off because you entered into a war that was nothing to do with you, ultimately that's the price to pay. People being upset if that means you're going to save lives. So I completely get what Superman had to do there. That sure sounds like something Supes would say, but it now feels like we have a rough plot outline. Superman gets involved in So So let me just start this again. So this is going to sum up basically what's going on here in a nice kind of way. So Superman gets involved in an overseas conflict. Lex uses that to vilify him, and he and Argos unleash Ultraman to take the Kryptonian down. We do know that Ultraman arrests Superman. We've seen it in the leaked set shots where Superman is in cuffs and Ultraman kind of is arresting him. We still don't know what the deal is with the glowing orb in the sky though. Gunn's approach to Superman is shaping up to be very interesting indeed, and you can take a closer look at the mystery baddie who definitely isn't Grodd in the X post below, which we already did towards the beginning of the video. So let's just read this again just to finish off. Superman gets involved in an overseas conflict in Barovia. Lex uses that to vilify him, and then Lex and Argos unleash Ultraman to take the Kryptonian down. We still don't know what the deal is with the glowing orb in the sky. So yeah, Lex is vilifying Superman because Superman got involved in an overseas conflict. He uses Ultraman to arrest Superman, and that's kind of what's going on. And Lex is using the civilians against Superman, kind of turning them against him as well. So there's a lot of information there to kind of get into, but I mean, that outline of the movie sounds pretty good. Like I say, we know Ultraman's in here. We know Ultraman arrests Superman because we saw it in the leaked set shots. So it's not really a a surprise there. But yeah, so let's kind of finish on this. So Hammer of Barovia creates havoc downtown. So that's kind of some of the information there. Whether that's accurate or not, a lot of this has been pieced together from this newspaper here. I mean, some of it could be accurate, some of it might not be, but it's kind of fan theory and speculation at this point, and trying to kind of piece these puzzle pieces together from the information in this newspaper. But it's sounding pretty interesting. Lex vilifying Superman and then unleashing Ultraman to arrest him. I mean, I'm interested to see where that kind of story goes. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this information. Do you think this sounds compelling? Do you think it sounds bad? Do you think it sounds mid? Whatever your thoughts are on this information we covered here, let me know down in the comment section. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to hit that like and become a subscriber if you haven't already. It goes a long way to supporting the content, and I will see you in the next video.